Hello, hello, hello. It's Beats in the Evening. I'm your host, Beats. Let me do this. There we go. Not much to look at. Let's open this. I think we're just gonna start right off the bat with just drawing because usually Fridays start off pretty slow. So we are just going to start off by just jumping into something so we I don't just talk to myself for 30 minutes. So let's just start by continuing where we left off last stream, which is working on the Hallowed Ground card, which is a land for my game that gives your ally units instead of you. So it's kind of a hope my tablet was plugged in. It's a kind of more supportive card because I want more of those. And that was one of the big notes during playtesting was that we need more cooperative stuff, which, inherently the game, like just coordinating and talking to each other is part of the part of that, but yeah. So yeah, we're just gonna draw this and then see where that takes us. Maybe we'll talk about some stuff that I've been wanting to talk about. We'll see. We'll see where all that goes. Yeah, some things I want to actually have a discussion about, so gotta wait for people to file on in, but some things I can just ramble about, right? I think actually definitely need to kind of have a curve on these. Make it more organic. Tree after all. Yeah, how's everyone doing today? Anyone up to anything interesting? Any cool weekend plans? I have to actually look at how I draw trees again in this style. Sorry, gotta go on live notification. Let me make sure YouTube's working. Okay, cool. Sorry. Sometimes YouTube can mess up sometimes, so didn't want to neglect anyone. Kind of a wonky branch, but I think half of it's hiding behind the back anyway. Now I need to look up some tree reference because I always draw the bottom of roots wrong. Tree roots. Like, how do they connect to the ground is the question. Because they kind of... I always want to draw them pointy. But they kind of just... Like I have, like I always want to draw these sort of points here, but really they kind of just... Right? They kind of just... terminate into the ground. Like that, sort of, maybe? I don't know. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do. You know the next song. I didn't sing it very well, but I know it, you know? You know the next song in the playlist. I wonder how streaming would go at this time on a different day. You know what I mean? Yeah. Sean the Pomo's Alon. Hello. Why does it look so weird? Your username is eating your word. I'm assuming that says hello. Yes, it says hello. That's so funny on the the chat, on the combined chat on screen. It's just the O and just covered up by... There's probably a way to fix that, and I probably should look into that, but that's funny. How you doing today, dude? Trying to remember how to draw trees. It's not bad. My name is both a curse and a blessing. I agree. It is good. Good name. I have like a... That would be kind of cool, having a branch like come out here. Obviously that's just like a... Where's the top of the thing? I don't know if you'd notice it that well. Yeah, I'm not gonna do it. I've changed my mind. And this is gonna be like a cliff face. This is at the edge of a cliff. You know, your like classic scene where you're like looking over a cliff and then there's a, you know, a grave or something on the cliff edge. Well, perhaps the problem is absolved. I think it's with really short words. Like just say like hi or something or hello or I think it's when you do individual short words. Is my guess. I think the because the hello is still there, it's just obscured. Whereas when it's a bigger, when you write more, it shrinks your. Oh, okay, that didn't work. Huh. Try just hello again. I'm curious. You don't have to, but you know, now I'm just wondering what the, if we can replicate the issue, right? On the pond was a lawn at dawn. There's a problem with being the first message. Yeah, probably. Yeah, huh. Weird. Yeah, I guess so. Just the first message. Didn't like know how to scale it or something. Yo, I am Squishika. Thank you for the Prime.
Squishika just subscribed with Prime.
Thank you for the resub. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It helps lots and lots. It's my subiversary. Oh, you should I think it's because you have the first icon, and I think if you, there's a way to do it. I don't know how you do it, but you can get the new little beetle icons. I think if you like click on your name, and then you can change like what appears. Actually, I want to see something because it's cute. Hold on. Well, I guess you might be on mobile. I want to see how that works. I want to test something. Test. Yeah, see, I have top tier beetle with whatever. With golden wings. I think if you do, I don't know. Because like you can change your like little icons that pop up. You obviously have like the first one, which is a founder, which means you're like the first 10 people to subscribe. And Prime Gaming is like less interesting, just means you use Prime, you know. There's a setting where you can change like what icons show up, but I wish to inquire about the deal. What deal? The free bald man deal? The stream title? Or some other deal? Did I give you some sort of deal that I forgot? I'm too boomer at heart to do cute things on Twitch. You're good. You're just more special because you have the founder thing. I think it might be like a PC thing only. I don't know, but it's a I just thought I would let you know that we have our little beetles now. Did I share those? I feel like I don't remember if I did. Bound Struggle also sounds super boomer to me. It does. No, it's just like it means you're one of the first, like, I think it's 10 people to subscribe. So there you go. You're special. You're one of 10 people who will ever have that that icon. I guess that's the line art, right? Like, that's it, I think. The rest is probably just visual, whatever. I don't really draw these like leaves very well on these vines. That might be okay. Might not matter. Yeah, so what's the limited time offer? Just it's me. I'm the limited time offer. Streaming with a bald man. I suppose it maybe implies that I would be bald. Like that I have to take off my hat. But I probably shouldn't have said that, so... 'cause that's a redeem. Which I guess does mean it's actually free if you... I'll give you free redeems. You just have to say it every 10 minutes. Free bald redeems. Actually, I could do that. I could just make it free. Actually, I don't know if I can. I don't think you can make a redeem free. I don't know. It's all silly anyway. It's mostly a joke, you know? Just trying to drive traffic to the stream, you know? Not really. I just like doing silly titles because they're funny. I don't know how I feel about these vines. Let me look up vines. Vines. Balloons, anyone? Yeah, like in theory, the leaves shouldn't be connected directly to the vine, right? I don't think that's how vines work. Do I care enough? That's something that really bothers me that much? I don't know. Let's just see if it looks better if I do this. Maybe? I don't know. All the lines within the thing. Looks a little better. Kind of a cop out, but I did it anyway. Can't stop me. I guess maybe some vines like going around the tree. keep the sort of look alive. Yo, Jacob, what's going on? How you doing today? What are you up to? Tell me your entire life story. It all started when I was a young boy. There you go. The bulb. Technically it says free, so I will, because that's the title. I feel like it's unfair if I charge you for it, so I am going to refund you your points. It was mostly a joke, and then I was like, oh wait, people are going to interpret this differently, aren't they? And so now I'm just going to... That's probably the easiest way to do it. I can just refund you your points. But I still will make it be a redeem. You still got to do it. I'd be active with it. If I remember, you never know. I probably will forget to put my hat back on. I guess we'll do another vine over here too. Let's do like... this. Have it this. Kind of goes down and then back up. Up. What is the limited time offer? See, everyone keeps asking that. But it's free bald man limited time offer. I refunded you your bald request. So you get the bald for free. Originally it was just a joke, but yeah. Now I decided that it looked wrong. But no one's really interpreted it that way, so maybe I'm just silly. Did I not? Can you not hear me? Did I not say what I... Did you not hear what I said? Am I crazy? Am I losing my mind? Am I like lagging or something too? Because like, I feel like you did not tell me what it is. Yeah, I did. I said it's the bald redeem. I refunded you your points. It's free. You did not tell me what it is, just that everyone was asking. Yeah, I said it before. I said, hey, it's the bald redeem. And I refunded you your points because it's free. Free bald. Free bald man, limited time offer. You redeemed it. I gave you back your points. Cast Divine Feline Location. Roger, Roger. That is not free. Bald man is free. This is not free. Let's see if we can get it working this time, though. Should work. Okay. Are you ready for the cat? El Gato. Phone camera. That's my desk. Hey, you. He's not far. Thankfully. We'll get past. How well can you hear me? Am I pretty quiet? Yes. There you go. Peak reality. Heck yeah. Glad I could help. All right, this is gonna become a fight against time for me, because I'm gonna have to remember to put my hat back on. Can I actually make it free? Can I just make it channel points? Manage channel power-ups. Unleash the Bald. Edit. Make it 0. Not be 0. Has to be 1. There you go. It's as free as it can be. There you go. That's the stream. That's the theme of today's stream. Why? I don't know. Because it's an event. A secret hidden event. There you go. And because I'm so benevolent, oh god, no, I didn't even think about this. You can continually redeem it forever. Anonymous, yo. All right, wait, no. I made a mistake. I made a mistake. Nope, nope. We can't do this. Bort, go back, back. I forgot that you guys are trolls. Okay, it's back to 500. I will redeem it. Let's calculate how many it'll be to be all stream. Still gonna cost you points, and then I will refund. I don't know. See, I'm gonna have to like. Well, here's what we can do. We can do it because we can't have this sound going all stream. We could do on cooldown of 5 minutes. Save. Hold on. Okay. It now has a cooldown of 5 minutes, but costs 1. There we go. That's how we're gonna do it. There's no refund. Just hold your horses. Horse your holds. Just kidding. It takes a second. Come on. I was trying to fix this because y'all were gonna spam it until it just makes sounds for the rest of eternity. Why does it say I have -10 requests? What do you mean? There we go. Refunded. How's it going? I for some reason on a whim decided to give free bald redeems today, so you know, take that as you will. It was mostly because it was the joke of the stream title, and then turns out I was like, oh wait, that probably makes people think that there's free redeems. And no one really said that. I could have just been like, oh, it's just a funny title, and then everyone would have been like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But now is this still not working? You guys are still doing it. Reject all. Reject all and refund. Is it still letting you? All right. We're done. Don't abuse the nice thing. You will not get free bald. No abuse. No abuse. I didn't put the there we go. Okay. This is the stream now. Okay. That was still okay. There we go. Cooldown's back. Whew. Fixed it. It's still gonna make this sound for like eternity now. So there we go. Yeah, I'm too tired for this. Why did I decide to do this? What's wrong with me? Hello, DDP. That was just a title that I wanted to test. Yeah, I mean, now here we are. I feel like it's fair. 2H delay to my rescue. It's okay. No, I'm just being silly anyway. We're all just goofing. We're just goofing around. Okay. We're just rolling and trolling, you know? Trying to think what actually the color of this art is going to be. I guess I'll start with just like filling out what some of the stuff is. I'm almost thinking like a grayer tree, if that makes sense. Like trees are a lot of time less brown and more gray. I don't know, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, how's everyone doing? How's your got any weekend plans? You working on anything cool currently? What's life like for you? Tell me your story. Tell me all the things. All the small things. I don't know if this is really the right color, but we're gonna go with it. I also don't need this on. I don't know, are trees this I don't know if they're really that gray. I mean, I guess they can be, right? I don't know. Yeah. I did want to, I guess we can talk and draw at the same time. I have been considering doing collabs with people. I've been talking to a few people about it. And it's something I want to do. That was an appropriate time to unlock this emote. There you go. Heck yeah. But yeah, I was planning on doing like collaborations with people. Just because like there's some cool people out there that have, you know, wanted to do something, or you know, one of the reasons I like doing this, especially, you know, like even streaming in general, right, is because I get to interact with people and be creative, right? Even if it's like, like even if it's just like interacting with chat, right? But I think it would be cool to do stuff with other streamers. Now, here's the few things. One, I got to figure out what that actually is, right? What am I actually doing as a collaboration? Stream Boo denied. The other thing is, don't tell me I drew on the wrong layer. No, okay, we're good. The other thing is, what exactly am I feel like I lost my train of thought already. One is I gotta figure out what I'm going to be doing, and the other is like how that impacts you guys, right? Because if I do collaborations, it does mean less like interaction between chat, like less of me talking to you guys and more me talking to someone else, because like it feels like super rude if you're just like hanging out talking with someone and then like every few seconds you're like, hold on, someone said something, and then you like respond to that. Not that there wouldn't be any response to chat, but I don't know, it's just things I've been thinking about. It's probably good for me regardless, right? If I can collaborate with people, both in a growth perspective, and it's just, good to, network and for my soul, because I like creating with other people. So, which brings me to my idea. Maybe you've heard me talk about this because I was talking with I don't know if it was on my stream. I don't know. Either way, my idea is doing a sort of mini like stream, I guess if you want to call it a game jam, where I will invite a guest, and then on that stream, within like the 3 hours, work on a game. I think the game, the two ideas I had was either a new game every time, which would be kind of insane to make a game in 3 hours every time. It's not going to be very good, right? It'd probably end up being pretty poopy. I don't like this. Or my real main idea is every time I bring a person on, I carry that project, whatever that project may be, to a new streamer or YouTuber or whoever, and we kind of like pass it along. Not pass it along, because I would be there every time. But I bring a new guest, they add something to the game, we put it together, whether that addition is a drawing or a mechanic or a new card or an element of the game in any sort of fashion. And then, by the end, after I've like done it with, I don't know, a bunch of people, right? Maybe even the same person multiple times if it comes to that. But yeah, and then have, give me a second here. Turn this on. By the end of it, have like a really cool like collaborative project. Who knows if it would really be all that great as far as like a final product, but when you have a bunch of hands in the in a pot like that, it might end up being you know, kind of meh, but the idea would be I would be there every time. So in theory, you wouldn't get too convoluted, right? I think this is gonna be the wrong color for this. I need like a brown. This is right, but I don't know. I don't know what y'all think of that idea. If you think that sounds cool. There's kind of some pros and cons to it. Pros being it's like, if I want to collaborate with someone, it doesn't have to be a long time, right? Where it's like, hey, you have to commit to, you know, 2 weeks of working on this together. The con would be it's a pretty fast turnaround on a stream. So it's like, it kind of forces them to make stuff quickly, which, you know, might not be appealing. Oh, I completely forgot to put my hat back on, which you're probably going to instantly redeem. You know, someone's just waiting with their hand on the trigger. But yeah. Yep. Yeah, I don't know if that sounds like a cool idea, if that would be fun to watch. Me working with you know, other creators to design a game. I was thinking like, oh, you know, maybe it could be like my project, but I feel like giving them ownership makes it cooler because like it feels weird being like, hey, join this thing and make something for me. You know, also give me any publicity. That hat shall not stay on for more than 3 seconds. Sounds cool also. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know. We could, I think there's potential to have, you know, something cool come out of it. Now I don't know if I make a base game to start with. Like if I go like, oh, I need to, you know, have something for people to start on so they can like make a card or make rules or whatever. Because then it feels like whoever I start the project with, if I don't do that, ends up getting like the most authority on the game of like what type of game it is and that kind of thing. But maybe that's okay. Maybe that should just be the nature of the beast, you know? So, I don't know. I'm excited about the prospect. I don't know how well it will work, and maybe it's just something I have to try, right? And if it doesn't work, then whatever. And just kind of whoever I'm collaborating with, just preface that, right? Okay, I think I'm gonna use this lighter color for the leaves. It'd be funny if we rated a viewer like Anonymous or someone who watches these. We rated Anonymous the other day. I think I have someone in mind who I want to raid though, if they're live. But we'll see. We'll see what it ends up being like at the end. Yeah, that's the idea. I don't know. It's kind of half baked. I don't know exactly how it'll work, but I feel like that's just kind of the thing, is like it could work really well or it could work badly depending on how I start the project off, right? Like if I start it with someone who like doesn't know what they're doing, it could go bad. Or maybe it doesn't really matter, right? Maybe it's more just like an excuse to like hang out and talk game design, and if it works out, it works out, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. Yeah, I don't know. I just want to like work with other creators. I think it'd be fun. It's kind of like one of my favorite like things in like creating, like just working with someone on something. Makes me excited. I don't know. Like it's really cool to collaborate. All right, let's this. So let's do this. Okay. Like create a file. There we go. Or a layer. Probably this color. Is Adonis live right now? You said that. I know he's here, but I was just curious. Kind of dislike now that I've like starting to get a lot of he's not. No, I was just curious. I mean, I was just curious if he was live at all. I know sometimes he like just watches my stream and streams at the same time. Kind of want the same colors in this as I have in the church one. Hard. But yeah, no, for sure. I was just curious if he was live. I would have just peeked at his art because his drawings are cool. Oops, I should be looking at structures. I want to take a look at this. There's certain things I like about this one a lot, but there's also certain things I just dislike about it. I think the landscape looks cool, but something just like kind of flat about it. Okay, kind of know what to do though. Trying to think how this would look. God, is my voice going? It's kind of like scratchy earlier. I was gonna say it's probably time to put back on my hat. Guess not. Standing desk. Okay. Probably needed that, to be honest. All right. I'm gonna decide if I want the orangish or if I just want to do. Maybe we'll do like this color. Yeah. Maybe. Color. I have like a vision in my head about this, but I'm not sure. Boo Radley, what up, dude? Welcome on in. Welcome to the bald stream. The one, the only, the bald stream. I should label my layers here. 3, 4. Bald? Balding and molding. You be bald, I do, forever. And ever. In this stream, it's true. It wasn't really intentional, but it kind of just happened, you know? Sometimes the bald just happens. Also, the new video was good. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's doing okay as far as performance. So that's nice. I'm still unsure how it's gonna perform in the end, like fully, but I think it's okay. I didn't spend as much time on it as like my other ones. So I'm a little less like antsy about it. But yeah. In this world, we have the power to infinitely unleash the bald. In this world, we has the power to infinitely unleash the bald. Sorry, I just had to pronounce it correctly. I'm sorry. I almost failed you. Off the grass. Yeah. How you doing, Bradley? How's life? feel like there was something else I was going to talk about, but I just don't remember. Yo, Anonymous. We were talking about you. I'm good, a little sleepy. I feel that, dude. I didn't really sleep that well last night, so I too am sleepy. First, I stayed up too late playing Crab Champions, and then I just didn't go to like bed at a proper time afterward. Probably because like my brain was just wired from playing video games, but probably because I was just being, what's the thing, like revenge bedtime or something. It wasn't really quite that, but kind of concept. Good things, I'm sure. Yeah, who was it? Jacob was saying it'd be funny if we raided someone who watches the stream, and like, oh, we did raid you last time, so, or the time before, whatever, recently. I just want like a, you know how like concrete has like that sort of, I don't know if this is actually concrete, but like that sort of like stone look. I don't know. I don't know if I want to give it to the trees as well. Trees almost need like a wood color kind of. Oh god. Top. Wait, that did not work? Oh, you tried to clip something? Confident super adrenaline perma smug? I don't know what that is. I don't know if I should click on that link. It's dangerous. Was my first raid. Appreciate it. Yeah. Good time. Okay, now we got the texture. I want to do like a purple shadow. Purple like multiply layer. Which should accentuate the yellow lighting I'm going to be doing. I'm going to go kind of crazy with it and then tone it back. Sometimes that's just the way to go. Also, I don't really feel like being precise, so that's part of it. Oh god, grab the window. Help. What am I drawing? I am. Hi, you clipped it. You did it. Oh, I guess they it gives it like a. Oh, wait. Oh, no, never mind. I was like, we're not actually in the ad. Although we should do ads because I think it just turned off pre-rolls. But I am drawing Hallowed Ground, which is a land card for Armies Against Entropy. That is the name of the card. So it's kind of like a holy site kind of deal. A holy land, if you will. Okay. I'm going to run an ad because it just turned on pre-rolls. So we're going to do that. And I will be right back. Let's do, 3 minutes ad break. So we don't have to have ads at all. Not at all, but every hour we have a 3-minute break for anyone who's just joining in. So hang out with me. You can watch these videos in the meantime. And then I'll be back. So BRB. I was playing Dungeons and Dragons the other day, and by the other day, I mean like a year and a half ago, and my players were in combat with a monster. This was a pretty standard fight, but things ended up getting kind of dicey. No pun intended there. It was kind of intended. I wrote it in the script, but I didn't think, whatever. Let's just get on with the story. Anyway, so one of my players ended up getting knocked unconscious. I'm generally pretty nice to my players, so this was actually a somewhat rare occurrence, which is maybe not how a dungeon master should operate, but I just end up wanting all the characters to be friends, and I don't know. But yeah, after the player was knocked out, the very next turn, they were quickly healed by another player and back on their feet as if nothing happened. Then they quickly attacked and defeated the monster. After the session, there was something about this fight that bothered me. And I think it was the lack of impact of not only being knocked out, but the lack of impact of damage as a whole. There were no lasting effects on the character. It really felt like there should be some sort of repercussions after being beaten senseless. And I'm not even talking about mechanically here. I'm talking about from a character standpoint. You would expect a character to at least be somewhat traumatized or afraid or something after being knocked out by a terrifying monster. So when working on my game, I kept all this in mind, and I think I found a way to solve this problem by allowing damage to be impactful to the character narratively as well as mechanically. Hi, I'm Nathan, and this is my tabletop RPG deck builder called Soul. Today we're going to be talking about my new equipment system, items, and how that relates to health. When I was trying to solve this problem, two game systems kept popping to mind. One was MechWarrior's slot-based inventory system. Each weapon or component was equipped onto your mech onto a slot on their body. And when that part was damaged, it would no longer function. And the other one was the singular time I LARPed. Yeah, that thing where you run around in a local park and hit nerds with foam swords. It was high school, I don't know, what do you want from me? I'm totally kidding, I don't have anything against LARPing. I mean, look at me. I'm making a tabletop role-playing game by myself for fun. Anyway, but yeah, the specific LARP I went to used a limb-based system for health. If you get hit in the arm, you can't use it anymore, and if you get hit in that limb again, you're dead, essentially. So really the same concept as MechWarrior, just simplified. So with that in mind, I decided to make a slot-based inventory system with health as well. This will help a player sympathize with their character more. Damage generally is pretty nebulous. A player having 25 out of 100 health doesn't really mean anything to them, other than that it's kinda low. However, a character having 2 broken legs and a dislocated arm is probably something they can relate to. This also forces a player to adapt to their situation, both in a mechanical sense and a narrative one. Now, the rest of the details I'm a bit fuzzy on, so bear with me a bit. I have 2 separate ideas on how this will lay out. One is a character sheet that will look something like this, having a slot for each body part, head, shoulders, knees, toes, etc. Except not really that at all, and more like head, body, right and left arm, right and left hand, legs, and feet. I felt like this was a good idea, but after a while I felt like it was sort of limiting. How many cool arm items would there be compared to like actual weapons or items you'd hold in your hand? Or say you have a character who has a shirt that you like, but you also want a jacket over it. I'm only kind of kidding with that example. Anyway, so instead I just tried a different format, going with head, body, legs, right and left hand, and 3 utility slots that could take any sort of item. I was hoping this would give a player a little bit more freedom and flexibility with builds without forcing them to only do one type of item per slot. So not sure which way to go, but I'll figure it out soon. There's also a different problem other than me not being able to make up my mind. Is that I've been planning on doing customizable items. These would be made up of cards and therefore need multiple slots. This is going to be similar to a lot of war games you see these days, where you can equip different add-ons to your weapons or your other equipment. So either of these systems would look something like this. This is cool and all, but I fear it's kind of a lot. Like, likely this many cards will interrupt the flow of the game, but I still might try it anyway. And if it fails, maybe I'll scrap the idea, or maybe make it simpler by using tokens instead of cards or something. Either way, this is the current prototype, so let's talk about how it relates to health, which also brings me to another way I'm planning. We lost everyone. Not everyone, but there were people who were watching who are not watching now because of breaks. But you know what? That's okay. I'll take it for no ads, and I feel like it's really the best way to like you never miss anything on stream, you know? A red rising on... We're setting something we call... Oh, yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I was thinking something like that. Yeah. I concur. My fair friend. My fair feathered friend. Why is that even is that even a saying, or is that just something that like... Is that even a thing? Hold on. Your mind instantly went to Riz. It did. Rizzing. Fair weathered friend. I'm assuming that's bald. Yeah. It's something that like I've heard said, and then like I'm like, yeah, fair weathered friend. Yeah, it's one of those like things where people get wrong all the time, like all intent and purposes. Like people say all intensive purposes. It's like you've been saying that wrong your entire life. How dare this wrong wasn't righted? Two wrongs don't make a right, but two rights do make a plain. Oh. Having your cake and eating it too. Indeed. Yeah, it's all weird. Language is weird. Language has and always will be weird. Do you need to leave, kitten? Do you need to leave right this instant? All right, I was gonna tone this down a little bit. It's a little too much. Yeah, I get it. Okay. Get out of here. Go on, get. The kitten hath leafed. Goodbye, kitten. But you shovel it down your mouth like a dollar. Should be eating your cake and having it too. True. Or like me. I am a toddler. Reminds me of, I watch a video and they say, without further ado, but first listen to our sponsor. Yeah. Without further ado, listen to our word from our sponsor. It's like that. That's not how a do works, though. You just a did. You know? Okay. But I act older with help from Liberty Mutual. This is all one car. One car just get 3 seconds later. Yeah, there you go. That went too far. We gotta brush, smallify. Gotta go in here and light each individual rock. That one probably wouldn't be lit. Means we also need to put shadow on each individual rock, but you know, who's counting? I don't know if this is the purple color I used. I think that's it. I is broke. Broke as in money broke or broke broke in? Mr. Sorry, I'm reading Discord. And Tebow is like, Mr. Beats, you're live at 1 a.m. Unfortunately. Yeah. I actually need the Discord's been busier lately, so I need to get on there and talk more. I've been busy trying to get videos done, you know. I need to do something with the ground because it's boring, and then yeah, probably something with the sky, maybe sort of a setting sun or sort of like ripples on the ground. I don't know. I'll have to see how I want to do it, but I really need to get over having a Discord notification and feeling annoyed by it. I'm like, oh man, I just need to clear that notification. What if it's, I mean, it could be, arguably could be important. Someone could be like messaging me on the stream chat and being like, oh, hey, everything's broken. And it's like, oh yeah, I guess, you know, that would be important, but I don't know, here we are. Make the grass blowing back like there's some sort of magic presence. Yeah, maybe. That could be kind of cool. We'll see. I'll get to that in a bit. Do shading on these vines first. And then doesn't even look that dark. That. I don't know how crazy I'll get with, like, there's a certain like level of detail that I can do with this before it starts looking like something different, you know. Although I've gotten more and more detailed as I've gone along. Like, these drawings have gotten more complex for sure, so I don't know. Maybe that's okay. But yeah, some sort of something might be cool there. Like I'm trying to think how I would do that. I could have longer grass and have it like, you know, kind of wind swept. I suppose. Would be cool. I think I want to do... I'm trying to think exactly what I want to do with the ground here. I kind of think maybe just some variation in color, just like take our thing here and like do a little bit of that to start, and then maybe like kind of some like a worn path, you know. I think that looks nice. With purple underneath. Yeah, actually, I guess the we need the shading from the objects, if that's what you're kind of saying, like shadows, maybe. I don't know. Or like contact shadows, you know. Or not even contact shadows, but I need both. Start with contact shadows. And then maybe do some like longer ones. It seems like, you know, nighttime, so or like sunset at least. So the in theory, like the shadows would be pretty long. Go there. And let's do the same thing, except make them like longer. I guess it'd be like, start with this, right? And then we can I guess then the trees would have like pretty big shadows too. And let's just tone it back a bit. That needs to be something more going on with the cliff face here. Maybe we just do a little bit of brown on the edge. That sounds like a little bit like mushrooms. Yeah, I suppose I could see that. I'm honestly not even upset about that. That's a thing, right? Like little fairy mushroom circles. Okay, let's do... I'm doing this on the right layer. Yeah. Just like a little bit of variation. And then let's do a like a sunset sort of thing, like you said. Let's just look up like a cliff sunset. Kind of trying to decide how this would look. Something kind of like, I'm just gonna paste it on here. Something kind of like this, right? We really should have the water. Keep forgetting. That's kind of my my hope there, you know? That's kind of the game, you know? You must unleash the bald on your own accord. Okay. All right, so we're actually not gonna bring this down here. We're not gonna have this layer. We need a horizon line. Which I guess I'll do... I'll do it in orange here. Or like yellow. Actually, I'm trying to think how I want to do this. I'm gonna do it like this. Okay, that looks cool. Merge layers. And do... I guess the sun should just be white mostly. Apply. Let's just start with the sun, and then the water will be influenced by the color of everything I choose, you know? Sun's gonna be white for the most part. Is this even worth doing? It's really not. Okay, here's the question. Do we move the horizon line to just... Is there green on that? Heck? Weird. Do we move the horizon line to be here? Probably, yeah. That way we can kind of get it in the what to say, in the shot of the movie. There we go. I'm gonna sit. I think I'm far past what I needed to do. Yeah. Ugh. I'm liking how this is looking. What do you guys think? Click unleash the bald everyone. You only can do it once per person. You got it. It's on a 5-minute cooldown per person or per total, I guess. Cool down. Cool down. You must cool down. Yeah, otherwise it was just going to constantly make the noise, and I wasn't having that. Cool down. Cool down. Why is my phone, like, on fire? No idea. You do it all at once for more unleashes. I don't think it works like that. I don't think you can really... break it like that. But I could be proven wrong. You guys could coordinate. Oops, let me do that. This should have like more boom to it. And then the water itself probably have like a smidge of orange on the thing, and then maybe a little bit of yellow. And then we can maybe do soft white. No, I think it needs a... do soft white. We'll add a little bit more orange in there. Yeah, it just does nothing. I lied. There we go. That's... and then... I want to do like little ripples. This would just be white. What are your inspirations for art and game making overall? Good question. I mean, like, initial inspiration, it's really hard to say. Like, I feel like I've been doing it my entire life. I've been making board games and making art and drawing and all that kind of stuff for as long as I've been alive, you know? so it's kind of hard to say what like initially got me going. Like my mom is an artist, so she does like traditional painting, so that, you know, definitely helped. And she's just creative all around. My dad's more of like engineer brained, but I think that kind of is like probably where I get like, you know, it's like, oh yeah, I want to do, he's not an engineer, he's a doctor, but same sort of like brain, you know. But yeah, so like initial inspirations, you know, obviously like my family, I think help. Like, you know, like the engineer sort of brain is like very you know, game mechanics and all that kind of stuff, right? So I've been making board games and whatever since I was, you know, a wee youngin. Now, right, like what continues to inspire me, it's kind of hard to say. Because there's a lot, right? Like I watch a lot of YouTube stuff. But like a lot of YouTube creators. I wouldn't say it's like any, like a lot of time like super like famous people or anything that's like inspires me to do what I do. I've usually been pretty much like a self-starter on that kind of thing. So there are like things that like make me want to keep working and like inspire me to get ideas and stuff, but I wouldn't really say like there's like a specific inspiration, right? Like watching other people do game development and that kind of stuff, like it's like, oh well, that would be a cool idea, like, oh, what if I did that for this game? Or, you know, like I see a cool piece of art and be like, oh, you know, that's pretty, you know. Like this art, I actually popped into Anonymous's stream and he was like, oh yeah, draw, or like, let me draw something for you, what do you want me to draw? And I'm like, well, I've got to do a hollowed ground thing. And he drew something similar to this, like with like vines crawling up. It was like an angel, which doesn't really completely like fit my game, right? But it worked for, you know, the general concept. So that was like an inspiration for this piece specifically. So it's a good question, but I feel like for me, I don't have like someone who I like specifically like, oh, you know, you could do here that might look good. Okay, I'm ready. Let's hear it. Well, I guess I can't put my hat back on. So yeah, you know, I don't think there's like any like one person or thing that really inspires me. Which I know is kind of like a, you know, a weird answer, but I also find like inspiration, like, you know, you might think like, oh yeah, like you make games, so you're inspired by people who make games, but not particularly. One of the things that inspires me the most is like Four-Door Digital and like all the VFX stuff they do. For some reason that like really inspires me. You know, darken the front of the stone and give the symbol bright color like it's glowing. Ooh, I can see that. Okay. Because the sun's behind it. Yeah. I almost wonder if well, here, what we could do is we could just turn the shadows back, or not these shadows. These shadows? We turn these up a bit more, make it a little darker. And then make it a little darker there. Did that just let, yeah. Maybe just do a little more of this dark gray. I was also maybe thinking moss. I don't know if that's like a... too much, but... okay. Would have to be on top of the line art. I guess this is God of Abundance, which is purple, which I think might look good here if we just do like a bright purple. A purpley pink color, maybe? I think it's probably... Did I say Abundance? Is that still what it is? No, that was its old name. That's funny. It's funny that I remembered its old name. God of Devotion. Okay. Give it a second. Hold on. No, it doesn't look good yet. Outer glow. Way too much. Not a gradient. A little kind of interesting though. Size. Way lower. Color. This color. You know what the key here is? You learn from lightsabers here. The do a color overlay. There you go. Change it to white. Right, because the glow itself is the bright color, and then the glow, the light itself is white, but everything else around it is... yeah, it's really cool. And now the cool part is if I draw it anywhere, it actually is kind of cool to have like little wispies maybe. Unleash the bald at once. You have 1 minute before it's unleashable. I was thinking doing it in this crack. Is that kind of cool? I think that's kind of cool. Maybe we just do like a little into that bottom. Oh. Do we want like little wisps? Is that kind of cool? Little dots? Is that just kind of distracting? I think it's kind of distracting. Only one person can do it. Correct. I mean, unless like maybe you can glitch it out by doing it at the same time. Maybe, but I kind of doubt it. I was just curious what it would look like if I did add more contrast. The problem is if I go too far, I'm messing with like the color palette, you know? I think I'm okay with this. We can maybe just turn the shadows all the way up. We connect the stones with the ring light on the ground. carved on the ground, like little like runes or something, like glowing ones. Like not changing the vibe of the piece, but I think it might be too much. It's kind of cool, but I don't know. I think, is it too much? I don't know. It's an idea. I think it's cool. I think it's just going against the original vision I had. I think it's cool. I think this is pretty much done. If anything, I'm just gonna add like a tiny little bit of moss and then call it a day. You do a full set of these and make it like an artifact land that can be placed on the board once all of them are collected, but they have a special ability like Stonehenge. That could be kind of cool. Like one for each god or something. You know what? Let me try one thing. Just to go along with your idea. Maybe just the closer stones. 'Cause, like, I like the idea. It just felt like it was cluttered when they were going back too far. Like my focus was getting drawn away from it, you know? Like what was important. My brain always wants to just draw a pie as like a rune. It just doesn't feel like that would be glowing. It's like too bright. It's cool, and I'm gonna have to keep that in mind for later because I think that would be really cool on another card. But I think for this one, like Exodia, of all the Godstones out, you win. Yeah, it could be interesting. I don't think it's something I would do, but I do think it's a cool idea. Moss. And maybe the sky need. Oh, let me look at my reference here. Yeah, maybe sort of like darker vignette here. And then maybe honestly just a vignette in general. I shall never be not bald. Um, what if you add a ghost energy emerging from the stone? I think we're just getting too cluttered. That's my biggest issue at this point. I think we're nearing the end of this card. Like, it needs to be done. I think we're just adding, like, we're getting to a point where we're just adding too much. I just need to do polish and be done with it. If that makes sense. Now that it's not like, again, like, all that could be cool as a card, but I think we're kind of getting to the point where it just needs to be done. Okay, I keep forgetting that I want to do moss on the stones. That's the only thing I want to do. The last thing I want to do. We'll see if it looks any good, but it's not necessary. I think we're done. I gotta go. Oh, sorry. Gotta go. This is my farewell gift. Cool art, by the way. Thank you. Sorry, I like didn't read the rest of it. I read the one thing, and then I'm like, all right, and then I just forgot to read the other things. My brain is a little too. I'm in too much of a focus mode. But thank you, Sean the Pond Mows Lawn. I appreciate it. You are, swell guy. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm losing my mind. Thank you for being here. The title is Diabolical of the video. The stream? Free Baldman limited time offer? Or are you talking about my latest video? Free Baldman for sale. It's me. Limited time only. Don't miss your chance. I think that's it. I think it's done. What do we think? I put that as my phone background. Oh, I was about to say, did I save this yet? I did. Just did. Well, I did before, but yeah, that's fun. I like that. I do like that purple glow though. I feel like that could be really cool with, like, if you had a really dark card and you had just like a glow effect doing the same thing. I feel like that would be really cool. We should keep that in mind for new future cards. Let's refund all these bald redeems. I'm so benevolent. I give you, oh, there's another one. I even give you back the one. Oh wait, if I reject it, can you redeem it again? Try redeeming it. No, because it still said 5 minutes. You think if I rejected it, you'd be able to redeem it, but I guess it still puts it on the cooldown. That makes sense. All right, this card is done. Let's save it. Let's export it as a PNG. Do 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 do. Do do do. Do do do. Hit do do. As I'm losing it. I'm very tired. I got like 5 hours of sleep, maybe. So that was not great. Army's gonna send card art. Lands. Yeah, the lands have gotten like progressively like prettier and less simple. But I think it's okay. Oops. Why are you sad? Is it because you can't actually redeem it more than once if I refund it? Or did you just because I guess you probably unlocked the emote. You probably redeemed an unlock, I would assume. No, just unlocked. Ah, gotcha. Did you just do the random unlock or did you choose? Yeah, okay, nice. Word up to that. Let's implement this right away. Why not, right? Of course, these are the beta cards, but I forgot River is actually a beta card because it almost made it into the main game, but didn't make the cut because it was too like specific. I don't know. Let's start the. I really like. I keep getting like unsure of how I feel about the abilities in this. I'm like, oh man, like I don't know if that's like the right one to do, and blah blah. And it's like, well, it doesn't really matter because it's the beta, and if it doesn't work, I change it. I shouldn't get like so locked into it. There's our final card. That might not work with the God, does this break Bridge again? I need to reread Bridge. The constant like having to future-proof it. If other cards you control have activated unit effects, those effects are applied to your ally's god. That does get weird. I think I have to reword how this works, but how does it it might be just like a wording thing, like I have to pay attention to how I word things. Yeah, I'll have to be very careful with that, but we'll see. Looks good, thank you. Hell, more like sacred. Yeah, I mean, maybe it could be called that instead. Hallowed like is made of holy, right? Like hallowed, feel like a lot of time has like a. I was gonna say basically means the same thing. It just looked like it. I mean, it's like the same meaning, right? Hallowed a lot of time does have like a more negative connotation from people, right? Like the probably because like Halloween, Halloween. I don't know, like the word feels more negative, but sacred for the demons and entropy gods. It's more of a for a player. So I mean, it could be called holy grounds, but the wording is, you know. Do the old gods from the far realm in D&D give you the idea? Sort of, yeah, a little bit. It was like very like, you know, like that was an inspiration and like what's it called? You know, eldritch sort of horror kind of stuff, which is basically where all that comes from anyway, right? But I didn't want to like really dive too deep into that. So like it like inspired me, but I didn't really want to take the ideas from that specifically, right? I guess technically like World Ender looks kind of like, you know, like Cthulhu-esque, but it wasn't really like a full inspiration. It was like, okay, there's World Ender. But I wanted them to have their sort of own identity that wasn't really like the old gods are basically from a, you know, previous realm or something like that. I don't have like the exact lore, but there are multiple old realms too as well, I believe. Like there's the Abyss, there's the Void. There's like different parts in theory. The lore isn't super it's funny how it's called Lovecraft. Yeah, right. Yeah. But yes, vaguely inspired by that. There's a few directions I could have gone, but I decided to try to do something a little more unique. They're also kind of inspired by like a little bit of League of Legends, honestly, like the Void and Risk of Rain, like void creatures, right? Those inspired by that a bit. But I think that's like kind of like a big thing that's like in a lot of games now. Yeah, those were some of the inspirations for just, you know, that sort of deal. But I think they look pretty unique, especially because of the color scheme. They have a unique feel to them. They feel cohesive, which I like. Originally, these cards were named after like fantasy creatures, like World Ender was a dragon. I'm trying to remember. Voidstalker, I think, was a ghost. Like they were just named. Like Nethermuck was a slime. Chaos Worm was a Hydra. Abyssal Horde was like a zombie leader or something. Or things like that. Watch all your long forms. Yeah, okay. There you go. You've seen it. But yeah, that kind of idea, right? And then it kind of all evolved into something different. Right. You said you came from my Thank you for the bald. You came from that video, so or like that was your favorite, I think. Is that, were you the one who said that? I unfortunately get you and Sean, like the things you say, and I guess there's one, like 3 of you came in at the exact same time for like, you came from, okay, it was Sean then. 3 of you came in at the same time, and it's like, it's there's, my brain struggles a little bit to remember who said what sometimes. You're my YouTube crowd. You came out of nowhere. Because like we'd been like sitting stagnant. No one had been like on YouTube for like, I don't know, months. Maybe not months, but a good while. And then like, yeah, you, Sean, Paul. Well, I'm on Twitch now. You are, yeah. But still, like all 3 of you came at the same time, which was interesting. Just like, I don't know, it was just weird, you know? Oop, I just threw my phone. Okay, oh god, did I miss the ad again? Oh no, it's starting right now. Wow. Good timing on my part. Okay, ad time, BRB. We'll be back in 3 minutes. I was playing Dungeons and Dragons the other day, and by the other day, I mean like a year and a half ago. And anyway, but yeah, the with health is probably one is a character sheet that will look something like this, having a slot for each body part: head, shoulders, knees, toes, etc. Except not really that at all, and more like head, body, right and left arm, right and left hand, legs, and feet. I felt like this was a good idea, but after a while, I felt like it was sort of limiting. How many cool arm items would there be compared to like actual weapons or items you'd hold in your hand? Or say you have a character who has a shirt that you like, but you also want a jacket over it. I'm only kind of kidding with that example. Anyway, so instead I just tried a different format, going with head, body, legs, right and left hand, and 3 utility slots that could take any sort of item. I was hoping this would give a player a little bit more freedom and flexibility with builds without forcing them to only do one type of item per slot. So, not sure which way to go, but I'll figure it out soon. There's also a different problem other than me not being able to make up my mind, is that I've been planning on doing customizable items. These would be made up of cards and therefore need multiple slots. This is going to be similar to a lot of war games you see these days, where you can equip different add-ons to your weapons or your other equipment. So either of these systems would look something like this. This is cool and all, but I fear it's kind of a lot. Like, likely this many cards will interrupt the flow of the game, but I still might try it anyway. And if it fails, maybe I'll scrap the idea, or maybe make it simpler by using tokens instead of cards or something. Either way, this is the current prototype, so let's talk about how it relates to health. Which also brings me to another way I'm planning on making damage more impactful, having 2 types of health: physical and mental health. Physical health will be linked directly to each item slot, like we've talked about. Then when a character is attacked and one of these item slots reaches 0 health, then they will no longer function, just like my Mech Warrior example. Now, I'm not sure how someone will choose to target these slots. One of the ideas is having a D8 and have the damage dealt to whichever slot that the dice rolls, then having more specific abilities that allow you to target exact slots. There could even be a mechanic for expending more concentration, the player's energy source, to target a specific slot. As a side note, another potential for this slot-based inventory system is to have status effects applied directly over item cards. This could allow for cool different effects. For instance, having different statuses like broken, dislocated, bleeding, etc. Now, mental health, on the other hand, is a separate health pool that gets damaged whenever your physical health goes down, or when you are psychically damaged in some other way. If your mental health reaches 0, you go unconscious. Like I said, this is linked to your physical health. So let's say your hand takes 3 damage, then your mental health will also take 3 damage. This health pool will be much larger and likely be able to take multiple equipment slots being brought to 0 in order for your mental health to be brought to 0 as well. There's also a potential for hitting already destroyed physical slots, dealing additional damage to mental health. Unsure of that one though, still toying around with it. I'm also not really sure how I feel about the symbol I chose for mental health currently. I'm choosing the psychology logo or symbol that people use because I already have used the brain for intelligence and concentration. So I don't know. I just work here. Anyway, as per usual, I'd like to address any problems that I think that this system could have. I think what's most likely to cause problems is what other games call snowballing. Unfortunately, with players becoming weaker and weaker over a battle, they could get worse and worse, and then inevitably die. In short, it's punishing. I generally don't find myself drawn to in these sort of games, or at least when it comes to like video games and stuff. However, I think the realism could lead to better storytelling, which is inevitably the biggest goal for this project. Although I really want to make sure it's not too punishing, because it's not really what I'm going for. I'm not looking for something where your characters are dying all the time, but we'll see how it goes. The only other thing I could see being an issue would be the sheer number of cards that a player has to look at. Granted, this wouldn't be much different than any other game. You usually see this in a character sheet, so this could be okay, but I worry if I do keep the customizable weapons, this could end up slowing the game down a lot. But yeah, I think a character struggling to succeed and seeing them overcome these obstacles despite being broken and bloodied is a lot more interesting than a character who gets knocked down and is perfectly fine moments later. At least, that's what I think. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. It's been a... Sorry, I need to get... Oop, I did not mean to do this. Need to get a call. No worries, dude. I appreciate you being here. Or needed to get a call. Oh, well, does that mean you're back or you need to go now? Because there was ads anyway. Oh, I'm back. Yeah, you missed literally nothing. You missed ads. I know I'm getting old because I like dark chocolate now better than milk chocolate. I don't know if that's crazy, but here we are. Dark chocolate was always good. Yeah, that's fair. I don't think I was exposed to it too much as a kid, really. Okay, we got 45 minutes left of the stream. 90s is the key, yeah. I found the thing that really makes me like it is the like creamy dark chocolate. Java is an ingredient. It's like eating a stick of butter. You're like eating a stick of butter. Got him. Dark chocolate is superior. Sabrina with a hot take. No, but like the creamy dark chocolate. It's good. The super like hard, like whatever stuff, I think that's why I didn't like it, because I never used to find that. Like I was never had that, but here we are. But you can eat it on your own. Less salt. Salted butter is good. Just eating butter. I just want to eat some. Let's eat it. Or I was just eating some too. Twinsies. Nice. Heck yeah. Dark chocolate. Woo. This is the card we just made. Thoughts? Okay, Jacob's losing his mind. Okay, chill on the spam. You got your 4. I'll give you, okay, I was gonna say I'll give you 5. That's it. Don't make me time you out. Don't make me put you in a corner. Yeah. There you go. I was like, kind of wild. Unleash the bald. Okay, there's a few things we could do now. Show him the dark side of a timeout. Could put him in timeout. I don't know if that's like, I don't think timeouts are really that bad. I know there's like a record of like when you're banned, right? Me is angry, not angry. Anyway, we could make a new god. The ideas aren't flowing with me for that, so I kind of am like unsure whether I do that. You quit in the corner. So we could make a new god, but I don't really have any ideas. I'm still kind of frazzled on that one. Maybe I should just do something more experimental and just be like not so weird about it, but shrug. Like the idea of like reordering cards maybe is cool. Do the God of Order and then you can like change cards position wherever it is. But honestly, I feel like that isn't usually that important. Plus, this god already kind of moves cards around anyway, so it's kind of like whatever. Anyway. God that triples the power of the other player's god. See, that would be cool, but it doesn't really feel like a play style, right? Like a cool power is good, but the power of the god should inform the play style of the player is really like the power it needs to be, right? So it needs to be able to create a play style. Whereas empowering your ally just kind of feels like this card is here and it doesn't do anything for me. Besides, you know, enhances the other player. Like think of it like a class, right? Like that's really the way to think of it, is that it is a character class. Like this is a ranger, right? This is a bard, this is a whatever, right? So, and that should inherently play differently than the other gods. I just don't know what like archetypes we still need, you know? So yeah, I'm still drawing a blank on that. We could do the art for the bard or for the beast tamer. I feel like we don't really have time to do that. We probably need to start a stream by doing that. Because characters take longer because you have to draw the little guy and then draw triples units, but every time you gain one, there's a 50% chance to lose it. I don't really like chance because then you'd have to like have some sort of way to implement that, right? Because it's unless you add like a dice, but I don't want to add like a new mechanic for a card coin. Yeah, I still don't like adding a mechanic for like a item you have to have for a specific card. That feels weird to me. I mean, yeah, you could, I suppose, like different like magic cards and stuff like that require certain things, like you need counters or tokens, or you know, they have like backs of cards and stuff like that, but I feel like that's just too complex. It's also more tracking, which I'm usually not a fan of. It's like part of against my design philosophy of this game. I feel like I've been shooting down too many ideas too, and it makes me feel like I'm like, I don't know. I'm not sure. I can't, like, it feels like I'm trying to create something that isn't necessary, you know? What you did with Soul by definition. You mean like SOL or SOU? Or am I like the RPG? Or are you talking about something else that I'm confused? A god that can protect a row from damage, but the other 3 rows take damage. it would be cool to have like protect, like not necessarily maybe protect, but some sort of mechanic that plays with rows or columns or something like that. Um hmm. That is interesting. It did give me more ideas that aren't like hide rows. That's kind of cool. Can we just talk about how Disney released a movie with the same name? Oh, Soul, yeah. And the gods in different realms, like literally stealing your game name and one part. I think it's spelled differently though, right? It's SOUL, right? Yeah. It's not SOL. SOL is like the sun, whereas SOUL is like your spirit, right? And then the gods are like a different game. So this is Armies Against Entropy, so it's a little different there. But you know, here we are. But I see what you're. I'm seeing what you're saying. Anonymous, that kind of gave me a different idea, and I don't know if it is interesting, but I'm gonna say it. The idea would be put my hat back on, and the other idea would be, I know we mentioned disabling cards, like one that can disable enemies, but it'd be kind of interesting if you had one like where you could disable your own cards at a cost of making them invincible, which is basically Mage's Shield, but it'd be interesting if that was like a god almost. Maybe, I don't know if that's interesting or not. Also, I really don't want another one with an ability. Oh. Like, abilities are cool, and they make sense on gods. But I also kind of want to find some way to work a unit effect into another god. But... What? Do you want to leave? Why do you want to leave me? Why does he want to leave me? I'm going to show you the stream first. Yeah. Yeah. What are you gonna do about it? You gonna be sad? Oh, look at this. Look at this little arm. Okay. I'll let you go. I'm going to free you. Come on. But yeah, I don't have any ideas. They should all have abilities and effects. So the thing is, you can have a base effect, but you can't. There's 3 different types, right? There's abilities, which are the yellow ones, blue ones, which are the unit effects, and red ones, which are the triggered effects. All the new ones right now have abilities. I would like to do ones with blue effects because we only have 1 currently. What about God? Yeah, once you get enough units on it, we'll buff all cards played above it. 1 structure, 1 land, 1 hero. That's kind of interesting. Zeno! Yo! Thank you for the...
Just subscribed for 4 months.
Thank you for the resub. Heck yeah. 4 months in a row. Wonder why your little icon isn't showing up. I know you got the first, but is the first... The founder icon, does that make it so you don't get the other icon? That's kind of silly. Or can you choose? I'm kind of confused on that one. Yo, Zeno, thank you for the sub. That is very much appreciated. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Oh, going off GP's idea, what if the god can move side to side and all cards above it get an effect? That's pretty cool. It would be an ability, which is fine. Maybe I just need to concede that it's not going to be a thing, because abilities are much easier to make. And arguably, there is, I guess, only one god with an ability. So it wouldn't really be that bad. I do like that idea. That is pretty cool. Let's write it out. That's a cool idea. Let me move my art pad out of the way. Okay, this is the wrong document. Beta cards. So the idea would be, so having a, I feel like I'm like writing in an area that has no space and I feel claustrophobic. So it has an ability, and that ability is move from one row, or move this god to another row. And then it just has a base, right? Like it just moves from a row. And it's got a base effect. That's the thing again, because like last time we were like, oh, well, what if we had like a god that removed units over time, right? But then had like some sort of really powerful effect. But I don't know what that effect is. I think that's the thing that's killing me right now. It might be a little bit easier because like it'd be a column, right? All cards in the occupying the column. How do you split the column? There we go, never mind. Occupying the column, this god is in. This ED is in. That like gives the other players god's effect. Top of the morning to you. Again, like it doesn't feel like a play style, right? It just feels like and typically you are only playing with one other god, so it's like you could just pick the same card that person has. I like where you're going with it, but it's just like it feels. Could be interesting if it gave other cards god powers, but I think that would be incredibly game breaking. In more ways than just like the fun kind of game breaking. All cards that occupy the column this god is in. Mirror Spell is more interesting. I like that. But there also is Church, which does let you swap gods for a turn. But a Mirror Spell is kind of cool. I do like that. I am gonna write that down. The god that gives you the power of an old god. It wouldn't really work. Unless it's drawing like minions. I would need a lot of words to work, but maybe. I could see a god that draws minions. I will write that down because that does sound cool, but basically this has to be a word like charm, like a god of love. Not really, but it'd be more like the beast tamer, but a god. But yeah, I'm unsure. God of winning. Yeah, what could the effect be that affects an entire column, right? The problem is there is like a god of fertility. Male heroes next to a female hero gain 1 unit. Very good. Very, very good. I feel like then you'd have to like it. Fertility. Sorry, I think I said frutility. Fertility? Whatever. Anyway. You need to like label what cards are what gender then. That would be funny though. Okay, we're out of fertility. Can use through realistic methods. If a unit dies, summon the old god of shop protectors. Damn it. Okay. I'm gonna ignore you for half a second. While I focus. Okay. What are the possible things a god could do when it affects an entire row of thing or column of cards? Okay, so it could affect how many units they gain. Boring. It could affect card draw in some way, but I don't think that like specifically helps the cards. It could make them potentially like invulnerable or something. But then you have the thing where it's like the cards are invincible forever. So like you couldn't lose, right? Yeah, immune to damage they can't take either. So I think the way that would have to work is like they couldn't drop below 1 unit if they take damage, but if they take damage at 1 unit, they die. I think that's how that would have to work. Like if you've played Risk of Rain, it's like one-shot protection, right? It would have to work something like that, right? So that could be, just gonna write that. It could be one-shot protection. It could be something like the cleric where they like gain units on hit. Something that'd be interesting but probably incredibly broken is like they all gain the effects of each other. So like each card would have all the effects of all 3, which I imagine would be incredibly dumb. Pray for getting the god of fertility. Gaining it, that would be crazy. It would be crazy, but you also can't, like, you'd have to literally make a gender icon on every card. And that I'm not doing. You do? It's called the pictures. To be fair, a lot of people think the elf is a guy, but the elf is a lady. At least that was the original intention. Most of the like hourglass figure sort of characters are the ladies. But it's kind of androgynous enough that it's like, eh. Also, Paladin is a lady too. We have more ladies than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's our guy girl ratio? 6? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, we don't. Well, 5 if you count that. And it's almost even. Else can be either. That's true. There you go. They're both anatomy. They're both. This is wild. Anyway, I am still gonna ignore that. I wouldn't mind actually having that as a god because it's like a very common god, right? I just don't think that would be the power because I think that's kind of boring. You can tell it's late here. Yeah, same. And it's later for you, but my brain is also done. I wouldn't mind like a god of love or whatever, right? Of love. We're getting all kinds of silly. No. No. Another idea I come up with is extra attack, maybe retaliate damage, destroy if greater than the enemy. Ignore 1 attack per enemy phase. Retaliation damage is interesting, but I'm trying to decide how that would work. I guess, yeah, I guess it would be, yeah, I guess what you said, destroy if the enemy attack, ignore. But like, I feel like it might just trivialize the game, right? So like if you have 1 unit on a guy and a minion attacks, I guess it would only work if they have 2 units, right? I'm just wondering if that feels like a play style or if that just feels like you just have a really powerful effect all the time. Thank you for the hydrate. Chow on the Palmo's lawn. Welcome back. Sorry, I missed your going away message. Another hydrate. Cool, thank you. Got 4 of them. Those 4. Wait, was that not a bald redeem? No, it was. Zeno, thank you. I like that idea though, DDP. That is cool. Did I write this down? Revenge damage. Let me add the note. Deals kills monster if units are above attacking monsters strength. You still lose the units, I would think. Honestly, I think it may work better if it's a unit effect. It would start once the god gets enough units and force the god to move at the start of each turn. Are you saying that this should be for the one that moves around, like the row? Or are you saying... I could see this being interesting, the revenge damage in general, because I think it could be interesting because it makes you what about this? Here's an interesting idea, right? What if it's you have revenge damage, but you can't attack at all? Is that weird? Oh wait, no, you'd have to be able to attack. Sorry. Because you'd have to be able to kill. You can't attack monsters or minions. Would that work? Oh yeah. You still have to be able to attack other things. I just want to think this idea through for a second. It's kind of insane, but sometimes you just got to be a little bit insane, right? So the idea would be you can't attack monsters or minions. When attacked, it'd be basically what you said. You kill a monster if the units are, I guess, above or equal to. Attacking monster. So it'd be like a really like defensive play style. And then you could only attack... You would only attack ruins, wastelands, and the old god. Deal 1 instance of damage to yourself, 1 to all other players, and 3 to all monsters. Monsters can't take incremental damage, so to only kill things 3 power level or lower. And then I do not want to damage your allies. That's a little bit against the game philosophy. You could have like a higher damage against yourself. I'd be okay with that, but no negative effects on your allies is also a design philosophy there. I should write it out. I feel like that might be interesting. Maybe that's an interesting video, like my design philosophy on making a cooperative board game. I should write that down. Can't type. That was not right whatsoever. Card game. This probably shouldn't be in this document, but all the week. So what if your allies are weak and you are in this together, but you're not, but not for too long? It's a good trade-off. 50. It's not, it's a good trade though, 50% damage. It's not so much the power level of it, it's more the game feel of it. So like it's about you shouldn't be able to negatively affect your allies, and that's for game feel, and sort of fostering a positive game experience with your person you're playing with. So it doesn't feel like toxic or like you're, oh, you played the god that hurts, your allies, right? It feels bad to me, and it's for this game specifically. Maybe in another game, right, it'd be fine, but for this one specifically, it's something I'm trying to stay against. It's 100% game feel and nothing to do with game balance. But yeah, I don't know. That's just how I feel. That's something I decided I'd stick to, because there's other instances where that could happen. Like spell side effects originally could be done to your allies. But I thought that felt wrong, I guess. It's not inherently wrong, but it didn't feel good to me. So I kind of cut it from any of that. How are we doing on time? 20 minutes? Okay, let's pick from one of these three. I do like the column thing. The god of columns. I guess maybe like a god of inspiration or something. So like each column gets a thing. Okay, this works. I like revenge damage. That could be interesting, especially when it's like it forces you to do revenge damage. I don't know if that's weird, but I think it is an interesting idea, right? It is a very different play style. And I think the beta is for testing ideas, so I'm not too upset if it ends up being kind of bad, right? And it can always be like reworked into something better. Scaling God seems cool, and you could do some way to break the game in a good way. So Harvest is already kind of a scaling god, but we could do another one. I guess I have power on monster death. It could be interesting. It's kind of how God of Death used to work. Or God of Destruction, like it just gained a unit when anything died, and it just kind of ended up being like, all right, you just played this god and you just win. So yeah, I don't know. God of Inspiration, God of Revenge damage. I think God of Order could be interesting, where you rearrange cards. Also God of Time, but we need to figure out what effect that would be, where it's like, howdy. So yeah, I don't know. One of these could be cool. If we decide we can make a god symbol, maybe. Well, I don't really want to go late today. I'm already tired, so we'll see. +1 extra turn for every 5 units sacrificed for the time god. That could be interesting. There was something I was thinking of, like random like shower thought about something like that. It was like it was something about what you could do with your right. It was an idea for a unit effect rather than what if you do the column one, and if anything in that column dies, it triggers a revenge damage mechanic. Interesting. So just kind of a combo of the two. My only worry is that it's going to be too many words for a singular card, but we can give it a shot. What would that god even be called? You gotta anticipate what's gonna die. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Okay, let's brainstorm a name for a god that can protect a specific set of things. God of Vengeance. Vengeance is good. Okay. So the ability that can move the god to another row. Retribution is also cool. Okay, we'll think about that. Do you like this idea? And I'm gonna save it for later. Or maybe a different thing, but let's try this combined thing. Ability the god can move to a different row, and then let's word this. So this is the base effect. I guess we can say the ability move the god to a new row. All cards in that row gain the base effect of the god. Of this god, I guess. Base effect would be when a card is attacked by a monster or minion, when attacked by a... No. Well, the idea was if you take damage, if you have more units than the card that attacks you. I feel like it might be too powerful, but we're gonna try it anyway. When a card is attacked by a monster or minion with a lower power level than the lower power level than the card's unit strength, it is destroyed after the card takes damage. It's not quite right. There's a better way to say it. For the base effect. Yeah, the base effect would be something, yeah, like when the card is attacked by a monster minion with a lower power level than when, I guess this card. This card is attacked by a monster or minion with a power level with a lower power level than the cards than this card's unit strength. I guess it's lower than this card's units. It is destroyed after it takes damage. Minions become worthless. I mean, maybe this could just be monsters, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. It might be too powerful. But it does have to be in the right row. The row has to have a cost. Like, the ability has to have a cost, right? And the thing would still take damage. I think it still works. How much does the ability cost? And what does it cost? It could be discard a card or like a higher number of units. Could be unit. How many units? I'm trying to think. It's a singular unit. I guess that would probably be fine. Well, remove. Let's say 2 units. Let's just copy our wordage. What are we doing? 9 minutes. Just make it once per turn move that can only move to adjacent column or something. Yeah, that feels like it's gonna have to be too many words to do that. We're just gonna do 2 units for now, and then the units are tracked, and you don't have to count like how many turns it's used, you know. So we're gonna go with this for now. We'll see how it performs and how it plays. It might just be we'll see. It might even be too. I wonder if it's too many words right now. All right, what do we like better, Vengeance or Retribution? What are our gods we currently have? Well, it starts with an R or a V. Altruism, devotion, magic, harvest, destruction. No, neither. Vengeance sounds too much like revenge. Yeah, retribution might be. Oops, I did this in the wrong order. Let's see how this looks. You could skip the god part and call it Name of the Vengeful or something. Maybe. I don't know. They're all gods, and that also gets confusing because it'd be cool, but I want to stick with the archetype. I like God of Retribution. We'll go with that for now. It will need a name. Name, comma, God of Retribution. Steve Vagel. Vagel's interesting. Let me see what this looks like real quick. It does work. It fits. This guy is attacked by monster or minion with a lower power level than the cards. You can save a smidge of space by just going the God of Vengeance Eternal. Vagel, an existing thing. Not really. You want to be called Vagel? We can do Vagel. Vagel, God of Retribution. Sure, why not? Vagiel. Is that how that would be spelled? Vagiel. That does sound cooler pronunciation, but I'm just wondering if that's how that would be spelled. Nope. Yeah, I don't know how do you get like a hard G sound? Big G, GE. The GE, technically you need a that'd be Vagiel. I don't know. Vagiel. Whatever. Honestly, either's fine. Guess the V is good with me. There you go. Vagiel, God of L. I'm just trying to think like words that end in the letter L, like or names. Usually it's two L's, right? So it could be like Vectriel. Real. I feel like A, like Vagiel? I don't know. Vel? It could just be Vel. Although I kind of like Vectral. Vectral. Vector, that's starting to sound like God of Math. Vectral. All right, I'm just gonna go with Vagiel. Vagiel. Nah, I like Vectriel better. Okay. Good enough for me. We're probably in an ad, aren't we? Ads are starting right now. We're gonna go with Vectral. For now. Maybe we'll change it if worst case scenario, but we're in an ad. BRB. I was playing Dungeons and Dragons the other day, and by the other day, I mean like a year and a half ago, and my players were in combat with a monster. I'm turning my card-based tabletop role-playing game into a fully fledged deck builder. That's right, a role-playing game like Dungeons and Dragons, but with the deck-building mechanics of something like Slay the Spire. Not only that, but doing so solved a bunch of problems generally experienced in many tabletop RPGs. Hi. I'm Nathan, and this is my sci-fi role-playing game called Soul. Now you might be saying, Nathaniel, you're just making this game into a deck builder because it's popular right now. And to that, I say, you're right. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't hoping that a popular game genre wouldn't help promote my game. But even though that is true, that's not really the reason I decided to make this change. It's actually because it solves a lot of problems in my game. But before I explain why I did it, let's explain what I actually did. To start, I'm going to use an action system similar to version 2 of my game called Concentration. Each point of concentration essentially counts as one action. The exception here is that more powerful cards may cost more than one concentration to use. This is going to be similar to Hearthstone's mana system or Slay the Spire's energy system. A player will start the game with 3 concentration and be allowed to spend it on various cards on their turn. After spending it, their concentration will regenerate when it becomes their turn again. As for the cards themselves, there are 3 different types of playable cards. Basic actions. These cards allow you to perform a simple action, mainly one of your equipped items, such as a weapon to attack an enemy. As a note here, there will be an inventory system where you have separate cards equipped, but that's for another video. Physical abilities. Generally, these are things that can be done within human means, or alien means, or whatever. Something like the Knight's Cleave ability, which makes a sweep attack hitting multiple enemies, or the Medic's First Aid ability, which allows them to heal a target even when it's not on their turn. And lastly, nano abilities. I won't kid myself, this is basically a magic system under the guise of technology. This allows a character to perform actions and go beyond what's normally possible, such as Medic being able to use mass healing, which allows them to heal allies in an area. This also helps to explain older abilities like the DJ Scale ability, which allows you to change the size of other characters' abilities. A player will choose an assortment of these cards from a class or multiple classes to build a deck. Once they have their deck, they can use these abilities in-game, especially during combat. Once combat begins, a player will draw 6 cards and be able to choose what actions to perform by playing these cards and using concentration to do so. Once a card is played, it goes into a discard pile and cannot be played again until their deck is empty. I'm still debating on whether a player's hand refreshes every turn, or if they can retain their cards and draw enough to fill their hand. Playtesting is probably in order to decide which one's best, but let me know what you think. Either way, that's the general premise of the deck building aspect, so let's explain why I actually made this choice. For those of you who play games like Dungeons & Dragons, will likely know this sort of situation. Your party gets into a fight with some enemies, and it gets to your fighter's turn. Your dungeon master asks a fighter what they would like to do, and they say attack one of their enemies with their legendary magic sword. All right, you have 2 choices. One, we can be done if it's too late for you and you think you're going to be done soon. Or 2, we can Vancor. No, I mean, I think I like Vectral. Vancor, Vacnor? Vacnor is probably what it would be. I don't know. I think I'm okay with what we got. We can maybe workshop it later, worst case scenario, but here's the 2 options. One is we finish and we go raid someone and call it a day. Or 2, we draw a god symbol and it'll probably take like, I don't know, a few minutes, and then we call it a day. What do you guys want to do? Want the stream to keep going, or are we getting sleepy and it's time to go to bed? Thoughts? We could sketch a quick one and then end. Okay, sounds good. We'll do it. I need this. And then need new, and then we need to do hard, and then create, and then paste this. Oops. Actually, that's right. It's not in the right spot, though. There we go. Okay. Any thoughts on this? Something spiky, probably? Revenge feels spiky to me. Something red. We just made a red one. We just made Sacrifice, which is red. I was thinking Vengeance would be like yellow for some reason, but maybe that's just me. Or maybe like black even would be kind of cool. I'm talking about more about shape, though, to start. What kind of shape do you imagine Vengeance is? I'm thinking like something triangular, but like spiky, like a sword. You literally just asked to be in here, kitten. Like hammer and triangle thing. Yeah, I mean, I suppose. We're just gonna start drawing until something feels right. I didn't even draw the I guess I did this right. Never mind. I don't want it to look too much like the other guy though, either. Impact sketch? I don't know what that means. To the Batman logo. Vengeance. Go on. No. What, kitten? Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to lean into like, I mean, it could be like, you know, that sort of idea, right? That was weird to come up with like abstract symbols, right? It should be like a rune, right? So it can't be like elongated like the Batman symbol is, right? So it has to be like fits in a space. Looks kind of like a fox or a mouse. Like this would be used in writing kind of deal. Like probably the god of vengeance would also be the letter of vengeance if they're like had writing, you know. Okay, you want to be out? Okay. Be free. Axe and sword merged together. That could be kind of cool. I mean, that's kind of like the visuals, right? Like something along those lines would be cool. I should be sketching rather than actually drawing the final thing because that's giving me like, I should just do. Always pick a color that you're not going to finish with, and then that helps you not get so attached to your art. I don't want to do anything too literal either. That's kind of not how any of these god cards have looked. Well, that's not 100% true. I guess some of them are kind of more. You're onto something. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm somewhere. Maybe I'm not anymore, but there's something here, maybe. I'm kind of just drawing a sword now and seeing if I can like abstractify it, you know? it's like a constellation, right? You look at a constellation and they're like, yeah, that's a bear, and you're like, no, it's not. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe or the goal I'm going for. Yeah, exactly. Gods usually do well. Some of, I guess, the more aggressive ones have like a. Okay, that's an idea. I wanna start over for a second here. Sword. Draw a sword. Very simple sword. What if we do cross swords? And then, again, abstractify it. Donna's just still here to give us feedback. You're all by our lonesome. I think I might have something. Let's start in the middle. Maybe. Okay, let me refine this a little bit. I think this could be cool. Let me actually do symmetrical now. This is still gonna be a sketch, but I think that's something I'm kind of interested in. Right? Nah. think just that. I think that's it right there. I might tweak it a smidge, but I think this is it. I want to do... maybe a smidge more like that. I think that's cool. You sign a god finally, God of Retribution. Yeah, does revenge damage. I know we talked about that a good bit, but we finally, I think, came up with something that kind of works. I'm still not like 100% sold on it, but we'll see how it goes. That's what the beta is for, you know. Oops. Can you do that? Okay. All right. Final image. Let's do it. We can leave those. Why not? Whatever. Thank you. I had completely forgotten at this point. Kind of cool making abstract symbols. Kind of a fan of it. I'm trying to think, because like a lot of the other gods, I guess there's ones that are filled in a bit more. I was trying to decide if I should fill this in or if I should leave it kind of unfilled. Let's just quickly see what it would look like just a... What do we think? Do we want it an outline? Maybe just like slightly thicker. But I think it's kind of cool hollow, right? It'll be hollow just like your soul when you go to try to get retribution. It won't bring you any happiness. I guess retribution is probably a better word too, because it's like more of like a holy connotation. There you go. Maybe a thicker bottom edge. Think of the whole thing or like this. It's fine. I think that's decent, right? Maybe we make it a smidge more pointy. It's kind of a little soft right now. You said red. We just did a red one. That's the only reason I'm like hesitant. I think I might go with like yellow, just because we already have a red one. You know, it's cool. Like black and yellow, very Batman. I think glow feels off. I need to steal it from the other god cards. I don't know, like here. Copy, layer style. Maybe it is the same. Clear layer style. Base layer style. Yeah, it's a little bit different. A little softer. Is tan kind of cooler? Kind of looks... Ooh, wait, this is looking too much like God of Destruction. Or God of War, sorry. I think it'd just be a bit more Raya, but it should end soon. Yeah, we should be done, really. We're close to it. We could always tweak it. Oh. Vengeance color. Let's see what the internet thinks. Red, anger, blah blah blah. However, other colors like black or even green can be represented vengeance. What do you feel about green? What do you feel about black and green? That seems cool. Good enough for now. We can always tweak it later if we feel so inclined. Goodbye. We just pick up back up next stream. Yeah, that's basically where we're at. This might be fine though. We'll see how it looks. I'm not 100% sold on it. I feel like it does look a little bit not quite right, but we'll get there. There's always things to do. Player cards, gods, God of Retribution, save. Okay. All right, y'all. We are going to raid, and for once, I think I have someone I want to raid, and it's not going to take me 20 minutes to figure that out. Goodbye. And we're just leaving. Put my hat back on. Actually, no, I'm not allowed to. We are going to I guess stay a little longer then. I mean, you don't have to. You're more than welcome to leave. You do not have to stay. We're gonna be raiding she's still alive. Nezu, who is no longer alive. Oh no, she's here. I lied. She's playing Peak. She's a variety streamer, but she does like game dev stuff too. So, and we I don't know. She's cool. So we're gonna raid her. She's like a variety streamer. She's a VTuber sometimes. She's a normal human tuber the other times. But yeah, it looks like she's playing Peak right now, but figured it'd be fun to do whatever. So I'm gonna hit the start button. I will see you all on Monday. Probably more of the same. I honestly don't know what we'll be doing. Maybe we'll try to do playtesting stuff, but either way. Anyway, it is bedtime for me. So thank you all for being here. Thank you all for chatting. Thank you all for everything. Thank you all for the 2 different subscriptions I got from Xeno and from Squishika. Thank you so much. Farewell.